Hey, what's going on? It's me, Jay, here to report. Sad news to report on the passing of famous televangelist, a fixture in many people's homes on Sunday mornings. Atlanta pastor, um, preacher, founder of In Touch Ministries, Dr. Charles Stanley, has passed away at the age of 90. Dr. Charles Stanley was the head pastor of the First Atlanta Baptist Church, which he joined in 1959. And he went on to be the head of that church in 1971. In 1977, he launched In Touch Ministries with the goal of reaching as many people with the gospel of Jesus Christ as he possibly could. And from that point on, up until just recently, he had done that. He was a lover of nature photography. In his office, there was a lot of nature scenery. I guess taking in all God's magnificent creation. You oftentimes it is said when you want to see God, just look at His creation and look at the things that He has produced, such as the trees, the lakes, the waterfalls, and other things. One of his paintings was actually given to him by another um, magnificent luminary televangelist, the late Billy Graham. But uh, Dr. Stanley's style was tender. He was stern. He would preach the gospel as it was, punishment as well as reward. He wouldn't sugarcoat things. He wasn't one of these these preachers that I mean, they're ear ticklers. They tell you what you want to hear. If you're in the wrong, they're going to tell you you're in the wrong, but not in a fiery. Um, Not that he wasn't fiery or passionate or on fire for the Lord necessarily, but that he wasn't yelling and screaming and doing a lot of theatrics, and that's what I really liked about him, is that you could actually learn correct theology without all the extra theatrics. Yeah, the extra theatrics, uh, you know, when pastors are animated, it's kind of like people here on YouTube too. Um, it helps to bring life to the sermon, and that can be, that has its place as well. But when you really want to tune in and get into the word and into the scriptures and into interpretations of the scriptures, as far as commentaries go, it's better to go to a pastor like Dr. Stanley. And also, he was a type. He was into ecumenicalism. He wasn't a condemnation type that would condemn other denominations or religions, but he knew where he stood as a Baptist and what is the Baptist interpretation of the word. So that I liked as well. Um, so a lot of his books were good too. Again, he didn't he wasn't into the charlatan type stuff like, say, Joyce Mayer or Paula White or Benny Hinn. Wasn't into prosperity gospel. That wasn't really his thing. His thing was prosperity in the gospel, not prosperity from the gospel. Um, the riches and glory of the material world aren't aren't as important as the riches and glory that one will achieve when they accept the Lord into their heart. They achieve salvation. So uh, that's what I liked about him. Oftentimes now, um, you'll turn on uh, church on Sunday mornings, and you'll see like a lot of prosperity gospel, a lot of hellfire and brimstone. And hellfire and brimstone, like I said, it has its place. We want to speak about the punishments that us as humans will face if we don't accept the Lord. That's part of the gospel. But also explaining to us why we should accept the Lord, giving us a sound theological basis is important as well. You know what I mean? And that's what Dr. Stanley did. And also, he wasn't into the charismatic side. Again, the charismatic side, like Benny Hinn and those individuals, Morris Cerullo, they have their place. That's all part of the cornucopium of American evangelicalism. But I like someone who's clear, concise, and to the point. Some might have seen it as boring, but I enjoyed it. When I watched it on Sunday mornings, I got a clear understanding of what is biblical teaching. That's the important part, the thing you can glean from it. Um, like I said, my grandmother, she had a lot of his books. I read a lot of his books over the years. His books, similarly, how to apply the scriptures to your daily life, as the word says. Man cannot survive on bread alone. Out of every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. So, rest in peace to Dr. Stanley. He is survived by his son Andy, who also his son Andy is part of Northbrook Ministries, and his daughter and his late wife. He now is in heaven with his late wife, who passed away in 2000. Rest in peace to Dr. Stanley, a fixture in Sunday morning TV. The three things that you always see on Sunday morning: football, politics, and religion. I guess people love football. I never liked football, but I do love politics and religion as a kid. And I love hearing the word, and especially from Dr. Stanley. And credit goes out to my co-host Lisa for um, seeing this article on her Facebook. Thank you. And rest in peace to Charles Stanley, Dr. Charles Stanley. Peace. Love you.